It is more likely that in the near future, a currency agnostic P2P payment transfer mechanism like Ripple will be used to access US dollars instead of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, the United States. Events are about to get very spicy here, guys, because as we see, are you guys ready? Are you guys prepared? Do you guys have your popcorn? This is why Bitcoin, all the narratives are stacked against Bitcoin. Listen to this right here. Bitcoin Black Swan. Mt. Gox selling 140,000 Bitcoin to market? Before we do read that article, I do want to say this. Just close your eyes and imagine. Mt. Gox 140,000 Bitcoin Black Swan. Regulations plus the green narrative. USDT exposed all at the same time. It seems to me like that's a big explosion waiting to happen. Now, another black swan is brewing. Bitcoin exchange giant Mt. Gox will reportedly return 140,000 Bitcoins to its creditors. How might the market react to the Bitcoin supply spike? Mt. Gox, once the world's largest Bitcoin exchange, was hacked in 2014. Hackers stole 850,000 Bitcoin from about 1,000 Mt. Gox users, and the exchange finally announced its bankruptcy. Damaged users and creditors have been pursuing huge amounts of financial compensation. In 2019, the Japanese court ruled that Mt. Gox would send 140,000 Bitcoin to a trust for custody until creditors finalize the Bitcoin redistribution plan. Again, how much is 140,000 Bitcoin as of today? Around $7 billion. Imagine all of that being sold onto the market. Not everyone will sell who gets their Bitcoin back, but most probably will, because that was from all the way 2014, guys. Look at the price of Bitcoin now, about $50,000. Do they not want to cash in on their immense, huge profits? Think about it. If they do sell, a huge cascade of liquidations to the downside will be taking place. All the leverage traders, all of those things, because the price of Bitcoin will just plummet. And this is just only one event, guys. This is just only one event. That's a black swan. The swan of all swans, right? However, Mt. Gox did not disclose the exact repayment time and Bitcoin amount to pay. So basically, we don't know when it's going to be redistributed, but I have a feeling it's all going to take place all at the same time, guys. I mean, if it all does happen at the same time, it's game over. A Chinese veteran Bitcoin investor said that he doesn't find it significant, even though he is one of the Mt. Gox creditors. Nowadays, it is not a big problem for the market to take in a 200,000 Bitcoin supply spike. Besides, those who get Bitcoins are all early cryptocurrency investors, right? They are unlikely to be in a hurry to sell them, or are they? I mean, guys, they made so much money. Why wouldn't they sell? It's a black swan, guys. Again, just be prepared. Imagine all that happening at the same time. Now here comes the CTO of Bitfinex plus the CTO of Tether. And he tweets this: Bitcoin is the hill on which many are ready to die for. We are really close to multiple nations adopting Bitcoin, so attacks are obviously intensifying. Really? The team that's from Crypto Will breaking $1 billion unbacked USDT has been magically printed out of thin air to artificially prop up Bitcoin's price. I mean, the good thing about this scenario is there's about to be a pump occurring with Bitcoin and the whole cryptocurrency sphere. Why? It's literally the mere fact that USDT has been printing. How much? $1 billion. This is why we're going to see a pump very soon. Again, we're consolidating right now before the next leg up. And he's the one to say that, guys. Again, this is exactly why Bitcoin. I'm like really sure that Bitcoin has to go away. Look how fishy this all seems to be, right? Wow. Listen to this, guys. Take a sweet out. It is more likely that in the near future, a currency agnostic P2P payment transfer mechanism like Ripple will be used to access US dollars instead of a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, the United States. Come on. This is what we have been talking about, guys. They are telling us, remember, they must put it in plain sight for everyone to see. but the people who truly see, will take advantage of this opportunity. Most won't. Why? Again, more proof in the pudding. From MetaMan, here is a unbiased crypto developer. Coin Club Quincy explains Bitcoin's energy consumption in an interview with Crypto Airy. He explains as Bitcoin network progresses, it will need more power to produce a Bitcoin to a point of unsustainability. Listen very carefully.
This is something people need to take into consideration when they look at proof of work systems, because this is sort of where I came down the rabbit hole of this problem, and I was sort of like dumbfounded that you could mine Bitcoin back in 2010, no problem, made a couple Bitcoin and be incredibly wealthy right now. But if you wanted to mine Bitcoin right now, you would need a ever increasingly larger and larger processing unit to do so. And it just asked me the question of, well, at what point does it stop scaling upward and it levels off to be able to, like, plateau to be able to run a network? So I kind of just, I wouldn't even say like crunch the numbers. I kind of just did some basic math, sort of equating the amount of power used to scale it from where it was in 2019 in the hash power to where it is now and the amount of power growth. And if you do that it follows an exponential curve. Like, you could plot the curve out perfectly. And if you keep doing that outward, by the time you get somewhere between 5 and 10%, you don't have enough power on the planet to maintain the amount of power that needs to go into the system to execute the Bitcoin network. And people like to make this excuse that, like, oh, well, all these other systems are all incredibly energy intensive. Also, what makes Bitcoin so wrong? And it's not that Bitcoin uses a ton of energy, which is a problem. It is that Bitcoin energy scaling problem that gets exponentially worse the more people that are on the network. And it's one of those things too. There's a few things that come with that, but the main point is that. And then you can kind of go into speculating of, well, what would happen if it wasn't, if it wasn't economically viable to run on the network anymore, or what would happen if there was a consolidation event and one node ran a 51% attack because it's not economically viable and people left. Like, there's so many different avenues that you can go down that's based off this one fundamental problem. And it only gets worse too if you get into like the tether thing, because if you pull liquidity from the network and the value drops. One thing I also stated before too is there's a hypothetical value out there that the miners needed to be able to continue mining Bitcoin profitably, or nobody will be able to. So there are a few, and this all comes down to the scaling problem. It really does come down to the overall energy scaling problem that create all these other bubble.
Wow, beautifully stated right there, guys. Again, scalability, bye bye Bitcoin. I can't believe it, because we have been talking about how Bitcoin is just an illusion, right? The fool's gold, so to speak. And this is exactly why all the narratives are stacked against Bitcoin. Wow, 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 wow. Linda P. Jones' suit out. Listen to this right here. This is absolutely insane as well. A report talked about Ripple as a soon-to-be trillion-dollar payments company. Now, we are not sure who wrote the report, but I suspect it might be Accenture, right? Look at this. They have been trying to work with regulators for years now, and the lack of clarity is causing stagnation in the evolution of our financial system at the cost of US. Ripple, a soon-to-be trillion-dollar payments company, at the center of this change, is making plans to leave. About what, guys? It's about all the money, like we have been talking about. Riz XRP has tweeted out, if Ether is to be allowed to trade freely in the market, so too must XRP. And if XRP is to be subject to restrictions, so too should Ethereum. Guys, any other result creates a competitive imbalance that cannot be rationalized with reference to fair enforcement of the federal securities laws. Again, isn't this crazy? Joseph Grunfest to Jay Clayton on December 17, 2020. A few days before the lawsuit got filed. Very interesting. Again, he's talking about we have to level the playing field. Now, Blood or Crypto tweet out, the SEC is being pushed into a corner by Ripple with no way out. They have two options. 1, settle, or 2, lose. Either way, it's a win-win situation for Ripple and XRP. Again, guys, it's basically as soon as the lawsuit got filed, we won. Ripple won, XRP won. Why? because we have already known this, right? Obviously, it's not guaranteed 100%, and obviously not financial advice, but we have seen the proof, we have seen the narratives, we have seen the articles, we have seen the shady stuff that's been taking place and the corrupt stuff that's been taking place with the SEC. This is why Ripple is about to literally win this case here very shortly, in my humble opinion. But anyways, that's all for you guys. If you enjoyed today's video, if you guys please like, subscribe, and you guys have an amazing day. And you guys, see ya.